welcome to another video. This one's going to be a little bit different. This one's one where this one's one that I've toyed about filming because I'm really not comfortable in it. And I feel like I'm going to get judged for it because a lot of people don't know about ambulatory wheelchair users. Now, ambulatory wheelchair users are wheelchair users that can walk. They have the use of their legs and they are able to walk, some for short distances, some for only a couple of minutes, some for a couple of hours. It just depends if they're having a good health day or a bad health day. Now, this is my wheelchair. I am paying it up monthly, I'm going to be honest with you. This isn't an NHS wheelchair. The NHS wheelchair, especially up in Scotland at the moment, has a long wait queue. You have to go forward for an assessment to see if you're entitled to a chair, and then you need to go through everything else. And the wheelchair I saw my mum get is very hospital-y wheelchair. She got one due to a cancer and we thought she had a small stroke. I'll link the video about my mum down below. And she got one. They didn't even come out and assess her for it. They took her height and they took her weight and they gave her a wheelchair. And I don't want that. If I want a wheelchair, I want one that I like, that suits me and does what I need it to do. So I'm a pretty stylish person, so as you can tell, it's orange. Was not my first colour choice. I wanted a purple one, but the one that I saw that was in my price range and did what I needed to do, it didn't have purple in it. So I had to take the next best option was the orange. Although I can cover it probably with vinyl stuff to cover the orange. I kind of like the orange at the moment. So I've got this wheelchair because obviously I have health issues. I've got severe disabilities. I've got a weakness down my right hand side, but I've also been diagnosed with joint hypermobility syndrome. So joint hypermobility syndrome is where your joints are extra flexible. You can have dislocations, you can have subluxations. Subluxations are where your joints don't come all the way out the socket, so they like half dislocate, but they don't come all the way out, then it's not a full dislocation. So I suffer with a little bit of subluxation. My fingers, my thumbs and that tend to dislocate, my toes dislocate, my hips and my knees pop in and out and stuff like that. So it's a very weird situation. So last year we went to Chester Zoo for my mum's birthday last year, and we realised then that we didn't know it was joint hypermobility syndrome. We realised then that my hips and my right knee just weren't doing very well at it. I wasn't able to walk for a long period of time. I was really sore by the end of it. All the things. And we spoke about it then, but then my mum's health got worse and it just kind of went to the back burner. Like all the rest of my health issues just kind of went to the back burner, and our main focus was my mum. So me and my dad went to Aberdeen this year on holiday. Just as a break in September, because it would have been my mum and dad's wedding anniversary if she had still been here. So we went to Aberdeen just to get away. It was a £99.95 holiday with ukbreakaways.com. I will also link that company down below in the description. And we walked into Aberdeen from where we were. Now, it was a really long walk and it was a really long day, and we also had to walk back. We never saw a bus on the road there. We never saw a bus on the road coming back. So we weren't sure if buses ran that way. So we were like, right, okay, we'll just walk it. It wasn't until the Tuesday morning that we heard someone ask one of the restaurant people if there was buses, and she had got my bus timetable, and I said to my dad, I wonder if buses run the way we were going, and they did. So we went on the bus that day, so it was a little bit easier, but it still wasn't the easiest on my joints. And we realised after that, we had the discussion when we came home about a wheelchair again. And I'm very stubborn and I don't want to admit that I need help. But I need help. I've finally been like, right, okay, if I want to enjoy myself on days out with the family and not be in as much pain as I normally am when I'm walking about, then I need this. It's not for daily use. I don't need it for daily use. I function pretty well on my own. It's if we're out for long periods of time. If we're out for, say, 3 or 4 hours in the day, then I'll need it. If we're only out for like 1 or 2 hours and stuff like that, then we're fine. If we're not doing a lot of walking when we're out and we're sitting in a car and I'm out all day, we're good. If I'm doing a little bit of walking and then sitting down most of the day, we're fine. If I'm out all day walking, so we're taking my gran to the Forge Market and Forge Shopping Centre in Glasgow on Friday, I'm going to need my wheelchair because it's going to be a long day out, there's going to be a lot of walking, so it's going to be hard on my joints. So that'll be fun. That's the second time I've had it out in public, and this will be the first very, very busy place that I've had it out in. So I decided that if I could get a payment plan for a wheelchair, I would. So I'm paying this up monthly for 12 months, which is fine by me because I need it and it's pretty much what I've got, and I don't really have an option if I want a wheelchair right away. So I'll link the company down below that I got the wheelchair from. They're really, really good. They do payment plans. They allow you to set up a payment plan that suits that comes along with it to be able to pay it off, which is really, really good. So we're doing that as well, which is really fantastic. And just let's get into the wheelchair. As I say, I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user, so I can walk. They do exist. So if you see someone in a wheelchair and you see them stand up from that wheelchair and maybe sit on a seat at a cafe, do not judge them for that. Or you see them stand up and are pushing the wheelchair and they're walking and there's no one in the wheelchair, do not go up and tell them that they're faking their disability. Do not go up and tell them, oh, you can walk, you don't need that wheelchair, I need that wheelchair, you don't. Like, do not tell anybody that, because you don't know what disability they actually have. They could have a really bad disability that affects them on some days worse than others. There's times that they want to stretch their legs because they still have use of them. So they're pushing the wheelchair, which gives them stability and balance. But if they get tired, then they've always got the option of sitting back down in the wheelchair. So I'm going to give you a tour of my wheelchair today and show you how much it breaks down and what it breaks down to. It doesn't break down really small, but it breaks down small enough that fits in the boot of our car. On Friday, the wheels and that are going to be left on it because it's just easier than pulling it out the car to put the wheels on it, take the wheels back off to put it back in the car when we're finished in the market, and then go over to the shopping centre. My gran struggles to walk not long distances, but for a long day out. But she refuses to use a wheelchair, and she manages actually really quite well on her stick. Frustrating that I need one and she doesn't. But we are going to park at the car park for the market side, and then we're going to go over to the Forge side, shopping centre side, and park up there and go for lunch and have a wander round about. So this is my tool, but I don't want to take the wheels off to put them back on, to take them back off to put them back on. So it's just going to basically be left like this in the car on Friday, which makes it a lot easier. But I'm going to show you how it breaks down right now. So there's a button just here, behind here, you'll hear the rattle. I'll pull it closer, hold on. Take the brakes off. Right back on. So there's a button just here that you push and you slide the wheel out of. Now I always kind of do, this is hard for me to do, I struggle, I need to sit in the kind of wheelchair to do it, but I kind of just wiggle it and then it comes out. So it comes out, and obviously that's the foot, I've just jammed my finger in it, I'll be browse later. And then obviously that's the footrest, so the foot plate sits like that, and then it's got the back that so your foot doesn't come out it. And then obviously you do the same to put it back on. You just kind of, I wiggle it down and then you'll swing it and then you'll hear a click like so, and then that's it, secured back in. And as I say, the leg just flips down and it's got that grip on the back. Pull it back up a bit. I should just give a lot of camera moving about, guys, so that you can see it a bit better. Obviously there's a seat cover on it, so if I do this there's going to be a grippy noise. If you don't like this sound, cover your ears and I'll give you a thumbs up when it's done. It's done, guys. There's just a seat cushion, it's just a foam seat cushion. It's actually quite comfy, to be honest. And then obviously you've got the bit at the back where the grip is, so that's the bit that it sits on. And then there's a great big square at the back, I don't know if you can see that, there you go, that grip is, and it sits onto the wheelchair like so. So we're going to show you the wheels. The wheels actually come off, but I need to remember to take the brake off for this one because I did it the last time and I forgot the brake was on. So you grab the wheel, you grab the wheelchair, because once you pull the wheel off it's going to fall, and you just press. It's going to sit nice for me. It's going quite good actually, because it's got front casters on it. It's not bad. And the other wheels on it. So you've got this pole that goes through the wheelchair. So you've got this pole that goes in through the wheelchair, goes into the leg. You've also got this bit at this side. I'll push it back through. This bit is the button. So that bit is the bit that you, see if I can show you sideways. I'm trying to hold the wheel so I can show you things. This bit presses in, so you'll see that it presses. That's the bit that releases the hinge at the back. So once I press that, this bit at the side pops out. So that's the bit that releases the mechanism for the wheelchair. Then at the side of the wheelchair, where the wheel is, you'll have the wheel, right back bit, Gemma. You'll have the bit where the wheel goes in, so you've got this socket that the wheel goes into, and it's like a hollow socket all the way through to the kind of bolt at the back of the wheelchair. And then all you do is you pick the wheel up, and then you slot it in to the socket. This is the bit I always struggle with myself, because it takes a lot of strength to hold it up, and then you press. And if you don't get it in the first time, then the wheel comes back away from the wheelchair, and you slot it in. So this is brakes. So it's quite a thick, chunky brake, and it's a mechanism, and all you do is pull it. So as you're pulling it, you'll see the brake starts to come in, but once you get to here, you need to keep going. You think it's locked, but what you need to do is you need to go, and you'll hear a click joint, and then you're stuck and you can't move the chair, which means you don't roll backwards. There's a button here that allows the armrest to go up and down. So you press this silver button and the armchair goes up and down. Sorry for the thud, guys. It's a wee bit stiff. It's not been used in a while. It's not been used at all. And then there's also a hinge back here. So I'll pull it closer for you guys. This is the fight that we have with the wheelchair every day of my life, to be honest. Try to sort it and fit it into places that it doesn't really fit into. Right, there's a hinge back here, guys. There's a hinge back here, up here, guys. So there's a little hinge up here. And then you go like that and you pull it towards you, and you'll feel, I don't have the strength to do. Now, give us a second, guys. I'll get this right. So there's a hinge here, and you press it. You're meant to be able to press it. I don't have the strength today, clearly. You press it and it releases. It's meant to release this bit if you press it right, but it's really not being, it's not being nice to me to do. Can I get the other side up? Right, the other side comes up right with it, and then we'll turn it round, guys. That side's a wee bit stuck, I think. Driving wheelchairs is not my forte, as you probably noticed, guys. So I just kind of drag it. You're not really meant to. Right, we'll try this side, guys, because this side comes up. Right, there's a hinge here that makes a click noise, right? So you go like that and you press it, and then that lifts the armrest up out the way. So for the likes of me, I don't need this part. This actually helps you get under tables though. So both armrests come up. I will need to fight with that one, but both armrests come up and you can roll under a table. So you can sit like right under a like workbench or like a restaurant table if you're eating with friends or whatever. But this also helps with transfer. So you would pull your brake, lift your side, and you would shimmy from here over onto a toilet, a seat, or whatever you wanted to do. So that's good for transfer. So as I say, you just lift the side, and someone that needs to can transfer out of it onto a chair if they're not able to stand, or if their legs are paralysed, or if they've just not got the strength to stand up. They can transfer straight over to a toilet, to a seat, into a bath or whatever, which is really, really handy, or an aeroplane seat if you need to. So that's basically my wheelchair. I'll show you how it folds down very quickly. Put the armrest back down. You'll hear it click once it's in position. It's challenging getting it in position again because I can't really see that well, so life is very fun. You press the button and then you should hear it. You should hear it click. Anyway, do you know this wheelchair's against me filming this today? Do you know that, guys? There we go, and you'll hear a click noise. Maybe no. You'll hear a click noise, and that's it, and it won't go anywhere. So I'm going to show you how I quickly take my wheelchair down, which is going to be very much a challenge and very much fun for anyone to watch. So if I'm taking my wheelchair apart, then I take both leg rests off. So I pull it and then spin it out and then grab this and kind of just shimmy it till it comes out. And you take one footrest off, and then you do the same with the other one. You do the same technique, take it off, but it spins the opposite way. So it spins to your left, and then you grab it and you just kind of play about with it until it comes off. You just kind of wiggle it and it comes out. Both wheels come off. So as I say, you pull it and the wheel releases. This is when you need upper body strength that I do not have today. And then tilt it up. Because it's not got footrest on it, it's pretty unstable now. Footrest give it that extra kind of weight on the front. Because I've took footrest off, there is an extra weight on the front. So you move the wheel out the road and you spin it round towards you, and then you release the other wheel doing the same thing. You pull it, you just let it tip sideways, you pull it and the wheel comes out so it sits down flat. You take the chair off it, take the seat off, take the cushion off it, and then you grab it here. So you want to grab it in the middle from the back and from the front, and then you just pull straight up and you're left with a very, very light wheelchair now. I can lift this. Now I don't have a lot of strength, as you've seen, fighting with a lot of things on this wheelchair, but I can lift that once everything's off it. So basically what you're left with is a shell of a wheelchair. So the front casters, now that I've took this off, I can actually show you the bottom of it, right? So the front casters turn 360 degrees. The front casters spin 360 degrees any way you want to spin, to work anything. Both of them spin 360 degrees. So that you can turn right round in a right angle, and the wheels just don't. They're not like your normal wheels that just spin forward. You can spin these round, so you can spin in a circle if you really want to, which is really, really good. The bottom is a solid frame. So the bottom is solid. If I pull it up, there's a central axis in the middle of this. So it's like an X shape in the middle of this axis, and that holds it and makes it solid. Now that bit's solid, that bit's not going anywhere, and it's really, really strong and heavy. And I don't remember what weight it will hold. I don't know if it'll tell me on the very small label or not. The user maximum weight is 135 kilograms. I don't even weigh that. So it's a wheelchair that's really sturdy for a lot of weights. But as I say, it's a solid fused frame that goes from the bottom right side to the top left, and then the top right to the bottom left. And as I say, it's an X-axis. As you can see, it's a very, very solid frame, and you're not going anywhere, which is for extra safety. And as you can see, the bottom of it's all kind of bolted together. You can see the inside of the brakes as well. You can see how that's set up inside. It's the wheels I like, because they spin 360 degrees. I love them. It just makes riding in it so much easier. I've ridden a few wheelchairs, especially when I was in the hospital as a young kid. I've ridden in a fair few wheelchairs. And I drive wheelchairs pretty well. And there's rooms a wee bit more difficult because it's slightly bigger than the ones I'm obviously used to. In the hospital as a kid, I used to have to use a wheelchair sometimes, because when I was a kid I was attached to some machines and monitors. So in order for me to get out the room to the playroom, I would need to use a wheelchair. And I got very independent at rolling myself very quickly. And they didn't have 360 degree wheels. You had to roll yourself right back and then turn at like a right angle or turn at a left angle, whereas these just spin with you. Those ones didn't. You had to do like a very big circle, so you had to turn yourself a little bit left and then pull yourself back and keep going left, whereas I can spin right round in these wheels. So that's a big difference I've noticed since I was a kid. But I never ever had to use a wheelchair outside the hospital, it was just in the hospital. So I'm never used to people staring at me because I'm in a wheelchair. It's a very, very strange thing to be stared at. Don't get me wrong, when I was in Motherwell High Street the other day there with my dad, there was a lovely woman. I couldn't get up the steep slope into the works because I didn't hit it straight on, I hit it from the side, and I don't have the really much of upper body strength to get up hills. And as I say, I'm watching a lot of videos. There's Wheels No Heels has helped me quite a bit as well in regards to getting confidence with the wheelchairs. I will link her channel down below. You can go see some of her videos and stuff like that. So she's helped me a lot with my confidence and such as well. To put it back together is just as simple as taking it apart. So you lift it up, you set it kind of at an angle towards you. You grab a wheel, whatever wheel you want, it doesn't matter, they're not left or right wheels, they're just wheels. Grab whatever wheel you want. Whatever wheel's closest to you at the time is what my opinion is. You hold it and you try and balance it. This is where it gets difficult because there's no wheels on it and it is top heavy. So I grab it by the handle at the top, which always makes it roll because there's no wheels on it and you can't put the brakes on it until the wheel's on it. But I grab it by the handle at the top and lift because it's the one place that's got solid, a grippy handle so you can grip it. You stick the wheel on and you spin the wheel until it clicks in, and then you press the button and then you slide it, and then that's one wheel in. And then you do the same with the other side. You grip it, you spin it so that it's facing you, and all the while holding this bit. I can now hold this bit of the material at the front because I've got a wheel on. I'm balancing on a wheel. And if you want to be totally safe, which I haven't done, you can pull the brake down on that wheel so that wheel's not going anywhere, so you're not likely to roll away. You're not likely for it to roll away, especially if you try to do this on a hill. When you're out somewhere, if you're sitting there kind of on a little bit of a slope, if you do not put the brake on, your wheelchair is probably going to roll away from you. Whereas at like this, you've got a little bit more kind of freedom about it. Sometimes the wheel doesn't go all the way on the first try, and then it takes a little bit of negotiation when it comes to like the wheelchair and stuff. You sometimes need to take it out, put it back in, like different ways and stuff like that, just to get it to like click in properly. This is the struggle I have quite a bit with this, that it doesn't always go in all the way. So you just turn it a little bit and it'll click, and there you go. Get both wheels on, put the brakes on, and then you can open the chair back out, and you do the same with the footrest as well. If you can spin it round towards me. You can actually put the footrest on while it's closed. So you do the same thing with the footrests. You can have a footrest, you always make sure it opens the right way so your feet goes on it. So that'll be that side because your feet go at the biggest part of the seat is at the back. So you click it and you grab it and you go down and you give it a wiggle until it's all the way in. You pull it and it'll click, and that's you. And you can do the same with the other side. So you grab the wheel, you grab the footrest, you grab the chair so that it doesn't roll, because I found this easier to do when the brakes are off than when the brakes are on. You just kind of give it a wiggle until it's all the way down, tight in the wheelchair. It takes up a lot of spins before you even get anywhere. And then you click it and there you go, you have a wheelchair. Then as I say, you just push that bit down. But what I'm going to show you is some hacks that I've learned about how to put things on a wheelchair basically. So from Wheels No Heels, this is, I've linked the channel down below, I've learned about things that you can use on your wheelchair. My foot's going numb, sorry guys, I need to shift a little bit in position. She was showing some hacks for wheelchairs and how to put things on wheelchairs and store things on wheelchairs and such. So this is a hack you can use. You can put it up round your wheelchair, it basically as a bum bag. You put it up round your wheelchair, you slide it back and you press the wheelchair. down till it locks. And obviously you tighten it up. You can put it in between the brace wheels so that it doesn't come off. I've just literally stuck it on the front now. And once the seat's on it, it's not going anywhere. So I've got this, and in the minute I stick the seat on it, that's not coming, that's not going anywhere. That's not moving anywhere. So it's stuck. And then that's bit where you can put your money or your phone or your wallet in. I've also got this. This wasn't in this video, but it's something I found. It's mainly for prams. It's for juice. You can use it on wheelchairs. It's for juice and your phone storage. So all you do is you unscrew it, and then it comes apart. Takes a lot of unscrewing, to be fair, guys. And it like comes apart, and all you do is stick it on your wheel of the wheelchair, and then you just tighten it up. Stick it on the footrest of your wheelchair and just tighten it up as much as you can, and then it's not going anywhere. And you can stick your phone and juice in it so that you can take a drink with you. As long as you're not going over bumpy stuff, you can take a hot drink with you and your phone with you and have a drink as you're riding in your wheelchair. And I've found that's really, really helpful. As I say, I'll link Wheels No Heels down below. She's absolutely fantastic. And I love her channel. She's absolutely amazing. And she's Hubbard. She's Gem Hubbard. And she's absolutely fantastic. She does loads of skits about wheelchairs on TikTok and stuff like that. And she does a lot of confidence boosting on wheelchairs, shows you how to do things in wheelchairs. It's just basically overall content on wheelchairs. She developed a spinal cord injury at 7 years old, so she's been in a wheelchair for quite a long time. So she knows all the hacks and stuff like that for wheelchairs. So I'll link her channel down below. But that's all, guys. I just wanted to show you my wheelchairs and let people know that if they're struggling to accept their disability and accept that they need to use a wheelchair, that is okay. I myself am still struggling to accept the fact that I need a wheelchair. I'm making this video purely to show what my wheelchair looks like, because there's different wheelchairs. You can watch thousands of different wheelchair videos, and each wheelchair is different and suited to the person, depending on their needs and what they need and how often they use it. Because if they use it every day, then they have a smaller sporty, I call it a sporty wheelchair. It's a smaller wheelchair. It's specifically fitted to them because they're using it every day, so they need to make sure they don't develop pressure sores and it fits right for them to use it and doesn't tire them out too much and stuff. So that is my wheelchair, but you are not alone. And how you feel is okay. You are allowed to feel sad, you're allowed to feel angry, you're allowed to feel frustrated, you're allowed to feel any emotion you want, because it is a really hard thing to accept that you now need a wheelchair, that you now need extra help to get about, because that's not what you had planned for life. That's not the hopes that you had for life. And it sometimes can destroy someone's self-worth, and you are enough. Just because you need this doesn't make you any different from Paul or Jim that lives next door to you who doesn't. You can achieve whatever you want to, and the wheelchair can help you do it. If you get tired easily, or your joints hurt, you can't walk very far, try it. I'm trying it. I'm not going to say this is going to work. I'm going to make a video in a couple of months' time giving you an update on how I feel about it, if my opinions have changed, or if I still feel the same. But it is okay to feel this way. You are allowed to be not okay. You don't have to be okay all the time. You are allowed to get angry and frustrated and scream and yell and shout. It's okay. So please be kind to yourself and comment down below if you have any advice on how to accept a wheelchair, or if you are struggling as well. Because this channel is here to support each other. It's not here for hate. It's not here for discrimination. It's here to help each other feel okay, whether you have a disability or not. Everyone has bad days and it's okay. But if you like this video, guys, and would like to see more of this content, please hit the like button, comment down below and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this. Bye, guys.